For our next inductee, I would like to invite Frank Burgess, Aquinas Jr., and Richard Coachys, Aquinas class of 1961, to stage.
Good morning, everybody. Richard Coachys graduated from Aquinas in 1961. During his time at AQ, Rich was both a member of the varsity football and baseball teams and participated in the varsity club and student council. In 1960, he won the Touchdown Club of Rochester's Outstanding Player Award. Rich attended Indiana University, where he earned a BS in Business Management in 1966. He also played both quarterback and safety for the Hoosiers from 1962 to 1964. He also earned his MBA in marketing from IU's Kelley School of Business in 1971. Between his undergraduate degree and MBA, Rich served active duty for 4 years in the U.S. Army, becoming a Vietnam veteran. He then served a total of 31 years in the Army Reserves, rising to the rank of colonel. During his service to our country, he was recognized numerous times, earning the Bronze Star for Valor and the Purple Heart, to just name a couple. After his active duty service in the Army, Rich coached football at Tennessee, Indiana, Southern Mississippi, and Duke in the collegiate ranks, as well as for the Birmingham Stallions of the old USFL. Rich has founded 2 service-disabled veteran-owned small businesses. In 2000, he founded Coachys and Associates LLC, and in 2008, he started Light Fighter Systems LLC with his 2 sons, Mike and Bill. In 2005, Rich received the Indiana University Z.G. Clevenger Award, the highest honor given to a former IU athlete. In 2023, he received the Ford Kinnick Leadership Award, which recognizes a Big Ten football student athlete who has achieved success in leadership following the career at a Big Ten university. Rich reflects on his inspiration from Major Don Hollander, who served as a role model for his pursuits beyond Aquinas. He thanks his coach Joe Repko for pushing his AQ football team and teaching them that overcoming challenges strengthens you in more ways than one. He holds family, faith, country, friendships, work ethic, and competitive spirit close to his heart, attributing much of these values to his time at Aquinas. I am proud to present Mr. Richard Coachys, Aquinas class of 1961 and Aquinas Hall of Fame inductee for athletics.
Thank you, Frankie, for that introduction. And Kathleen, you're a hard act to follow. Your enthusiasm, you've definitely projected well. And it is really an honor, and I'm very humbled to be standing up here, followed by the other inductees, hearing their stories, and knowing that Aquinas was a big influence in all your lives, as it was in mine. What I'd like to do here, and my boys tell me I got my degree, it wasn't an MBA, it was a BSS, and stands for BS Baffles Brains. And I was in sales for most of my time. Even when you're coaching football, you're selling, recruiting. So I might be rambling a little bit, but I've got a couple of messages to talk about. First, I was very fortunate to be born into a great family. My mother and dad, my mother received a parochial education through high school, and my dad never did get out of grade school. His father had a heart attack when he was young. There were 7 siblings, and he had to go to work and earn a living. My parents were just great people, and knew that a parochial education was the best for their children. I had 2 sisters. Both went through Catholic education to include Catholic colleges. Both came out registered nurses. And my brother Jim, who was here as a freshman, and then when my parents moved to Gary, Indiana, and put my brother in a school also run by the Brazilian fathers named Andre, and he finished 3 years there, went on to go get a scholarship to Butler, and retired as a federal judge. And of course, I was lucky enough. We moved here when I was a sophomore, and it wasn't an easy adjustment, but it was made much easier with playing athletics and joining the Aquinas football program, and having great teammates like are here today: Mike Riley, John Toscano, Steve Chamberlain, a neighbor, Pete Castertelli, are great. I saw them at the game, and definitely enjoyed seeing them, and Mike and John's wives, Carol and Marie. They definitely helped me adjust, and it was a great 3 years at Aquinas, both athletically and academically. I didn't come here while they were Catholic high schools and grade schools, I didn't come here with a great academic background. And through all that love that I heard at the sermon this morning, I didn't know the Brazilian fathers loved me that much, that they helped with a lot of discipline and got me through it, got me in a position to get a scholarship at a major university, which very much helped me. Aquinas put the icing on the cake, and I was able to take it from there in a phase of my life that I call Indiana football and my military experience through ROTC. I was influenced to have a military career by Don Hollander, and I remember Ron Parnello coming in here in his Marine Corps uniform and addressing our class, and I said, I want to be like one of those guys. And also the money that I got while I was in ROTC helped with some of the beer expenses during those 4 years at school. And I call those my thank God years, because having played Big Ten football for 3 years at 160 pounds, and then going through Vietnam, where I was just lucky. God saved my life when I was shot through the leg and the stomach, and the bullet actually rested that far from my spinal cord. So if it wasn't for the good Lord, I might not be here, or if I would be here, I would definitely be in a wheelchair. After after Vietnam experience, I came back to Fort Benning, Georgia, and the luckiest day of my life was when I was introduced to a young woman who we went out on a blind date, and I refer to it as a cheap date because it was at the Officers Club and it was 10-cent drink night. And it would cost me 50 cents, and in my dress Army blue uniform, and that 50-cent drink night, Kay admits that she almost wanted to marry me right there on the spot. But I'm really the lucky guy, and from there on out, she has been the wing beneath my wings. And while the background that you read, it all mentions success, but obviously during the 56 years that we have been married, there's ups and downs, both in a marriage and both in the endeavors that we took on, and how she supported me in all that we went through. To include our three sons, all turned out to be successful. One is a physician in Jackson, Mississippi. The other graduated from West Point, and he's the CEO of our company. And my other son graduated from the infantry officer school, and both served in Iraq, and they both lead our company, which makes products for the military, to include the Army tent, the Marine Corps tent, a bunch of other products that are quality products that end up benefiting our soldiers. My wife and I started that company after my, quote, coaching career, and of course, he just mentioned the schools that I coached at. He didn't mention why I continued to coach at different places. There are two kinds of coaches: those that have been fired and those that are going to get fired. And I was, quote, lucky enough to be fired by some good coaches: Johnny Majors, Lee Corso, and Steve Spurrier. All good coaches, but maybe not such a good judge on assistant coaching talent, as I like to think. After I retired from coaching, just didn't see a future that I wanted. That's when we started the companies. Our boys came home from Iraq. Of course, they went to their mother first and said they had a great idea, and that idea was carried to me, and the decision had already been made, and we started the company in the basement of our house, and through Kay's support, continued her teaching. She was going to retire after 30 years of being a high school teacher and counselor. She continued to stay on 5 more years so we could get the company going, and now we're one of the leading manufacturers to quality products for the military. Kay has been there supporting me through the 56 years that we have been married, and I wanted to honor her when I was presented with the Big Ten Leadership Award at a timeout during the championship game between Michigan and Iowa. And I thought, how can I honor her for this 50 years, all she's done? So I gave it some thought and thought, I want to do it in front of a big audience. So I practiced, I love you, Kay. I practiced that in hopes that the cameras would be on us when we did that, and wanted everyone to know how much I love and appreciate her support. And to add a funny story to that, after I was introduced to Induction, the presentation was made, and it was over. I turned around, went like that, pointed at her, and she had her camera, which she has right now. She had her camera, and she was clicking the photos off the telephone and the crowd and everything else. And I pointed, and there was a guy standing next to her in an EMT suit, a beard, a heavyset guy. I said, I love you. And he said, who, me? That's it. Well, I've got another chance now. And I want to, Kay, I love you and appreciate all you've done. And in closing, I want to thank Aquinas. Thank you for this great honor. Mike and Marie, John and Carol, thank you so much for hosting us as we came in. I know you two were a driving force behind my nomination here, and thank you so much. And it's been great staying in touch over the years, although there's been a long gap in those years. So thank you, Aquinas. Thank you to all the other recipients of this award, and I appreciate it very much. Thank you very much.